Many years ago, when I used to have my national sports talk show, I used to say that there are no guarantees in gambling, that if you had a dictionary, and I realize that people don't have dictionaries anymore, they use Wikipedia or online searches, because do they even make dictionaries any longer? Seriously? But if you looked it up in the dictionary, you would see that the words guaranteed and gambling are not on the same page. And if you needed further proof, look no further than yesterday's game between Tulane and Navy. A game where I was going for my 5th straight football winner to start the season. I had opened a 3-0 start in the NFL and hit my only previous college play with Army over UL Monroe 2 Saturdays ago, and I was feeling pretty damn good at halftime. I had Tulane -7 and the Green Wave up 24-0. Now, I was not sitting around watching that game because I could only think of about 2,000 better things to do in my life than watching Tulane and Navy on ABC. But again, 24-0 laying 7, you had to feel good at halftime. And then Navy, a team that was so pathetic and getting annihilated by 3,000 points by BYU in its opener, a team that was so inept in the first 2 quarters of play, scored 27 unanswered points to win that game. I don't know. It's one of the great mysteries of life. Right up there with the Loch Ness Monster and crop circles, as far as I'm concerned. What are you going to do? You shrug your shoulders, you mutter your favorite obscenity, 7 or 8 obscenities in my case, and you move on. Listen, the takeaway from this game is this. You're going to have losses like that, and you're not going to be able to deal with it, but you have to. Because I've always said the key to this, and the key to playing the stock market as well, is you got to remain even keel. When you have big wins, you don't celebrate them. When you have devastating losses, unexplained losses, you don't lament them. You can't focus on yesterday, whether it was good or bad, because today is all that matters. You've got to remain focused on today's card, because otherwise the next money-making opportunity, which to me is Baltimore-Houston today, it's sitting there staring you in the face, and you won't recognize it. Listen, you're going to lose games like that. I have. You're going to lose more games like that. I will. And you're not going to have any answers for them. And you got to be able to simply move forward. Now, you will, after those type of losses, say, my God, what the hell is going on? But I can tell you, after all the years of doing this, you will more often than not win those type of games more than lose them. I know it's tough right now to accept that fact. I know right now you can't see the light at the end of that tunnel. Hell, you can't even see the tunnel. But I'm telling you, more often than not, you will win those games than lose them. So now we move forward. Let's get to your complimentary plays. Yesterday I took a split. I cashed in with Central Florida over Georgia Tech and lost with Western Kentucky losing at home against Liberty. Another game, go figure. Today, your first complimentary play. I do not believe the Patriots are back. Beating a bad Miami team at home because Cam Newton did everything. He was Superman as he was a couple of years ago. That is not going to work in Seattle tonight. And this is an overreaction price because of Newton and the Patriots, how well they played against Miami at home. Because Seattle deserves to be more than a 4-point favorite. Cam Newton is not going to run 15 times for 75 yards. He's not going to complete 15 for 19 for 155 yards. He was a one-man show against a bad Miami team. Well, listen, if we're going to rate one-man shows and base it on the quarterback play here as to who's going to be the dominant quarterback to propel their team to victory in this particular matchup, I'll put my money on Russell Wilson, because Wilson was just phenomenal against Atlanta last week. I mean, they opened up the offense. Wilson just had a great game and just shredded that Atlanta defense. 31 for 35 for 322 yards, 4 touchdowns. Completed passes to 9 different receivers. That's the guy that I want my money on in this matchup tonight. So I'm going to go with Seattle minus the 4 points, and naturally I'm buying down the half point in that contest. I like Arizona minus the 7 points today at home. And again, I'm buying down the half point on the Cardinals, anywhere between 6 and 7.5 in this particular contest. I do believe the Cardinals were for real in their 24-20 win. As the double-digit dog against San Francisco last week. I do believe Kyler Murray is for real. Great game for him last week. 26 for 40, 230 yards, a touchdown, 13 carries, 91 yards. Hooked up with the Andre Hopkins so many times. It was just damn scary, the chemistry they had in their first real game together. I also like the fact that Kenyon Drake supplied 16 carries and 60 yards on the ground for Arizona. I do not believe in Washington. Washington was down 17-0 and looked miserable against Philadelphia. The Eagles just totally collapsed and allowed Washington to sneak off with that victory. Yes, Washington has some nice defense, but that's it. This is a team that's not going to be able to run the ball. I don't believe in Dwayne Haskins. I think that Arizona puts so much pressure on Garoppolo, and I think they'll be able to do the same to Haskins, and I like Arizona in this spot. On the early card, I think my favorite game is going to go with Pittsburgh. I went with Pittsburgh as a 15-dime best bet on Monday night, and the Steelers rewarded me as Roethlisberger showed no ill effects from the elbow surgery, 21 for 32, 229 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I like the fact that Benny Snell stepped in after James Conner went down. Conner is back, though, this week, but I think Snell is going to get the bulk of the ball carries. 19 carries for 113 yards. The defense was every bit as good as advertised as it was last year. Mike Tomlin's D, 3 sacks in that contest. Broncos, yes, the game was a 16-14 final loss at home against Tennessee. But you know as well as I do, if you had Tennessee in that contest, the Titans didn't cover because their kicker missed 2 field goals, had another one blocked, and missed an extra point. So that was 13 potential points they should have had. 13 gimme points. So although Tennessee won 16-14, that could have very easily been a 29-14 final, and we would have been talking about how the Broncos lost by double digits at home. That's why I'm more than willing to lay the points with Pittsburgh here. So, again, the complimentary plays are going to be Seattle, Arizona, and Pittsburgh. I like them in that order. Remember what I told you last week about that quirky little trend. If you could pick the straight-up winners the first 8 to 10 weeks of the season, they will cash in at an 85 to 90% clip against the spread. And last week, the straight-up winners went 15-1 against the spread, the lone loser being Tennessee, because their field goal kicker stinks. So again, keep that in mind. Go forth. All coupons and discount codes are over on the homepage. And we will talk again tomorrow when we do this one more time. Good luck, everybody.